All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Sorry about the small technical issues I had. I hope the audio is clear enough. I had a bit of a technical issue where I had to kind of switch off the audio to find what's going on. Couldn't find the link. I wasn't sure if we're live or not because on the software, according to it, we are live, but I couldn't see a link anywhere. And then I found it was unlisted. But even on my app, I can't really see anything, so I'm not sure what's going on. So all I'm going to say is sorted out FF. So yeah, what I'm going to do is say, if you are watching this right now, I would appreciate if you can share the link in the group so other people could also join in. I think our brother KR, he's already on the live. He's watching it right now. I have sorted it out. I hope the audio is coming out okay. Also, I'm going to do one other thing as well. So there's another scene. I'm going to go there. And I hope the audio here also works as well. Yeah, I think we're fine now. So I just need to get a bit of feedback. I can't see any, what do you call this? Because I don't have a link, I actually can't see the chat, if that makes any sense, right? So this is kind of silly, but I actually, finally, look. Finally arrived. So now I can see, okay, El Babu said it's perfect. Thank you very much. Now I can actually see the chats as well. So thank you very, very much. Right, let me get rid of this stupid screen and we will continue with our charts. Right, so look, guys, today, honestly, to be honest, I'm not here about the charts or anything. I'm just being honest with you. Why? Because if you watch my videos from the beginning or as we make them, you know I've talked about certain prices, certain levels. We talk about all the time. I'm like, okay, guys, we're going to go to this price, or we're going to do this price, or we're going to do that. We always talk about it. So because of that, we know what to expect, right? So this is something we were really, really expecting. 53K was a very important level for us. If we smashed through the 53K last week, then today we should be testing out 58K. And similar, now that we've gone past the 53, we will be definitely testing out the 58K, which is an important level. And what I'm going to do on the chart, as I've got the chart open, I'll show you these levels so you understand why do we talk about these numbers. And I made a video a few days ago. Was it a few days? No, it was yesterday, I think, or the day before yesterday. I made a video and I said to you guys, I said, guys, if we are throwing numbers, there's a reason behind this, right? So we're going to talk about this as well, because a lot of people kind of just go past this and like, hold on, where are these guys getting these numbers from? What are they talking about? People are talking about 500K, $1 million BTC. Where are these guys coming with their numbers, right? And these are important things you've got to understand. Like, if you can see on the chart, we're looking at weekly. Now on a weekly, of course, you know, this is the level, the next level we're looking at, which is the previous all-time high. Of course, we're very bullish. I mean, we could do this in a blink, right? But what you have to understand is we also have this area here, and I think you can't see this area here when I'm showing it. Let me do something. I hope this will bring my cursor out. Give me a second. Right, let's try this. Right, I think this will bring the cursor out. So, okay, so this area here, this very area here is the important level that we need to look at, because we do have this resistance zone, this strong resistance zone, which actually coincides with around 58K. I don't have my glasses, but I can tell you, even without my glasses, that the area around here, this particular zone here, right? So currently showing at 58,700 or something silly like this, right? But the point is this is a significant area. Of course, we need to zoom in to see more. So sometimes when you need to zoom in, what you do, you go and find these the line chart, and you move into the line chart to see the numbers. And I hope you can see the numbers around here when I'm doing this, right? You get those, right? Sometimes we might have to even change the chart entirely and look at a complete different chart to find those zoomed in areas, and we will do this, right? We might have to change it even more, you know, make it more advanced to find those areas. Where are those 58? So once we have those confirmations and we go through what we need to find the numbers, then of course we put those numbers down there. So I hope this kind of makes sense, right? You know, I just wanted everybody to understand that, guys. Sometimes, you know, when we're throwing numbers, I know a lot of people don't understand it. Like, hold on, where are these guys coming out with these numbers? What does all of these numbers mean? Sometimes it's a bit too overwhelming, and if I've got to sit down and explain to each and every one of the people how these things work, then we'd be out of business. Let's just put it this way. I would be out of business. A lot of people won't be coming to me for that information. So end of the day, there are sometimes secrets to our trade, what we do, how we do certain things, and that's what we hold on to, right? Because you can't really give away everything, if that makes sense. So I know it's a bit blunt for me to say something like this, but that's the real fact, hardcore fact, right? That we don't give away everything. Sometimes we've got to keep certain things to us, but I have kind of briefly shown you what we would go through. I mean, put it this way, guys, let me just show you this, right? This is how many patterns you have. And you can use all of these patterns, any one of these patterns, to go and find yourself whatever you want. And that's where you would connect a dot, right? You would use those to kind of find all the information and say, right, where do all of these converge and what are the confirmations they're all giving to us? That's what we want, right? Sometimes some charts could be confusing. I mean, if you look at this chart, pretty confusing in a sense, of course, apart from the direction, which we would normally trade with. It's fairly confusing, right? But when you start looking at a line chart, it's oversimplified, right? I would say it just, a color just shows you the tops and the bottoms without any wicks, right? And then things get a little bit more complicated when you start moving into the Renko, Heikinashi, and then when you start moving to the Renko, you start seeing things completely different. So you see what I mean? So things change, guys, things change, and you just need to understand which one is what and what they all kind of mean, and that will kind of make sense. But yeah, other than that, listen, we're not here trying to do a school. I'm not running a crypto school here. I just wanted to kind of catch up with everybody and say, right, guys, it's been an awesome journey, a beautiful, I think, 2.5 years for us now, close to 3 years, I would say. Well, no, 2.5 years now. A beautiful journey. We've kind of, I wouldn't say exactly the top, but we did call the top. We did know when to exit. We exited. We knew when to re-enter the market, whether it was the absolute bottom or not. That's not the point here. We did say that if we go anywhere below 20k, we should buy, and everyone did that. That was a good thing. And then obviously we shifted up. As we shifted up, a lot of people have kind of had loads of mixed emotions. Oh, the market's going down or the market's going up or whatever, throwing random numbers. You won't believe who's sitting here with me. I've got my little cat with me. So what was I saying? So what I'm saying is, so people are throwing random numbers, right? Random numbers. Some people are talking about it crashing down to 40k. Some people are talking about it going to 500k, $1 million. I mean, what else can you have? There are some experts out there throwing $10 million right now, right? And I'm like, guys, when we get there, we get there. We've got to be realistic, right? But the numbers we were looking at a shorter time frame, and we said, look, that's possible. That's what the market needs to do. This is where the resistance is going to be, and this is where the support's going to be. When we fell below just recently, normally I don't talk about buy the dips. I said, guys, this is an opportunity to go and buy the dips, right? So those of you who did, of course you did fantastic. Guys, also, if you have any questions, right, fire it away. Depending on what your question is, I might answer it, I might not answer it, okay? I don't want to make this long-winded. I'm not sure if you can hear in my voice. I'm actually not well. I haven't been well for some time, but I thought, today I'm really excited. Why don't I just come on and do a nice little live stream with you guys and talk about other stuff? And it's not always about chart. Remember, I've kind of been put off from charts altogether. I'm like, well, what's the point of looking at a chart? You see a number, you have to wait for that number to come. And that's kind of something I've been doing with everybody as well, where I've seen numbers, I've left the numbers. In fact, guys, you all know this very well. And I'm just going to activate the chart. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys could see what this chart is. This is not a new chart, by the way, guys. It's the exact same chart we've had for close to like 2.5, 3 years. The same lines, everything is there. It's the exact same thing. We haven't changed anything. That's the beauty about this chart, right? So we knew what to expect. That's all I'm trying to prove here, is this very chart here we've had. All we wanted to do was prove to ourselves that whatever numbers we give, whatever numbers we talk about, are the numbers that we're going to be expecting, right? So those are our expectations. We can't expect anything more, and we don't want to expect anything less, right? By limiting ourselves to those things, we've kept our minds clean and we've looked forward with a clean conscience and said, right, that's the probability, and we've played it the smartest way possible. We've talked about numbers, that if we're seeing these numbers, other people are also seeing this, and I've talked about this many times. The difference that we do is we have been talking about these numbers weeks, months in advance, compared to other people where they are building a narrative or connecting a dot to a recent news and saying, well, that's the reason why this has happened. None of that matters. None of that matters, you know. I love when someone today, they mentioned something quite funny actually. Someone was talking about how recently Michael Saylor bought another, God knows how many, I think like a few hundred or a few thousand BTC, God knows, something like this, right? So, and someone said, well, hold on. Every time he buys, the market dumps. It's true, right? But he's a smart man. He knows that every time funny thing is they talk about, like, they're trying to connect the dots. Technically, he hasn't. He's been buying. He doesn't buy the tops, obviously. He buys it at the bottom. So whenever you're seeing a crash, it's probably because he's just done an OTC buy. I would say the crash happens before he buys, and then it crashes, right? Because someone wants to see a loss or something, or probably because he bought it off chain, that's where the crash is happening. So you see what I mean? So there's connections out there, but we're not here to do conspiracy theories. I'm not against Michael Saylor or anything. There are some influencers and whatnot I am against, and I'm open about it, but that's because they're just talking bullshit and also giving all sorts of narratives, right? But they shouldn't, right? But other than that, I've always tried to keep everybody clean here. Now, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm not sure what's going on. Let me see. Hold on. I'm just trying to observe, see if the chats are working. I don't even know if are you guys still there? If you are, then just ping me, say something. You know, press a button, do whatever. You going? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Ah, okay. Now she's gone. So what was I saying? You can't go out. The door's locked. Guys, give me a second. I might have to let her out, but anyway, leave her, she'll be fine. But all right, what was I saying? So yeah, ping me on the messages, let me know. Yes, so okay, Elbob is there, so at least I know you're still alive. I'm not even sure if the chat's working, guys. I have no idea. So anyway, I think there's a lag as well. There's a massive lag from when you're writing to when I say something. I think there's a big lag, but anyway, as long as everything is working and Bubble's confirming it is working, let's go for it, right? I want to talk a little bit about, I mean, unless you guys have something that you want to ask me. Actually, I do. Oh, my days. Okay, fine. I just remembered. So a new subscriber recently, his name is Maxim, right? Maxim. He's asked a question regarding security. So apparently, and he said it publicly, so it's fine for me to say it as well. So on a YouTube comment, he actually mentioned how his wallet got drained by about 20 Solanas on his Phantom wallet or something like this. All I'm going to say, guys, wallets normally, well, let's put it this way. Technically, a wallet itself cannot be drained by anybody, even the people who created the wallet itself, right? They will not, it won't happen, because a lot of audits and a lot of security things go to protect yourselves, right? So remember this, wallets don't get drained automatically. There's no such thing as that. However, sometimes when we're interacting with nefarious or, you know, bad contracts, and someone who's clearly doing it intentionally, right? They create this contract and you think it's brilliant. You see this great opportunity into this coin or this market or this product, whatever, and you go and you click without verifying what that contract is actually doing. You end up having you're kind of approving the contract to spend on behalf of you. So a lot of the times when your wallet is being drained, you are actually approving a bad contract which you didn't verify. Obviously you didn't check. A lot of the time people wouldn't even know if it's a bad contract, and you thought you're going to be first in line or whatever for some new hype project, and you end up pressing a button and kind of pre-approving this wallet or whatever, this contract, to spend your funds. Spend literally means it can spend it, it can take it, it can transfer it, it can do whatever. You've approved it already. So I think in your case, what's happened is the Phantom wallet itself was drained, very similar like MetaMask. I've had it a couple of times as well, and that's because I've gone places and I've pressed the button, I've gone interacted with a contract, and yeah, I've had myself drained. But in order for myself to prevent things, I mean, I do feel sorry for you. You had 20 Solanas. That's quite a bit, significant amount of money. That's like about $2,000 or $2,500 now. So I do feel sorry for you. But normally you shouldn't be keeping that kind of funds in a hot wallet, because any wallet you're going to be doing daily stuff, trading and this and that, interacting, buying memes or whatever, NFTs or whatever, that those wallets should not have too much funds in them, only what you want to spend, right? You should keep yourself limited. I'll give you a good example. Recently I was on Telegram, and a whole bunch of people were trying to do some marketing stuff and whatnot, and one guy come along and he helped me out and whatnot, and then after he helped me, he goes, "Oh bro, can you drop me a little bit of cash on the side because I helped you out?" I was like, okay. Is that another scam as well, another business? Fair play, but you did do a good job and you did kind of guide me through. So yeah, how much do you want? And he turned around, he's like, "I just want $5." And I was like, "Oh, okay, fine, $5, fuck it, take it." So I actually sent funds from my Coinbase account to my Phantom wallet so I can send him the $5. Does that make sense to you? So I didn't have an entire stash sitting on Phantom wallet because I don't want everybody to look into my wallet, right? So I sent a very small amount, and that small amount went out, and that's my hot wallet because I don't want to keep any funds in there, because these ones you're interacting with meme coins and whatnot, as I said, right? The whole list I gave you. When I'm doing stuff on Phantom, there's higher risk that I might get wrecked. So I don't want to risk my entire funds in there. So these are certain things that you need to take care of. I'm not blaming you or saying anything. It's a mistake that happens. And I think from the conversations that we've had, I know you are kind of new to the industry. This could happen in anything, by the way. It doesn't matter about crypto. It could happen in your stocks, bonds, shares, whatever, any kind of a trading account you have. All I'm going to say is in crypto, just be especially cautious. Because we're dealing with a lot of smart contracts, there's a lot of smart people out there who can swipe you out completely. So don't mix your holding portfolio with your hot wallet. Don't do that. Anybody, doesn't matter. This applies to everybody. Please don't do that. And there is no prevention, by the way. A lot of people might turn around and say, "Oh, there's a prevention." There is not. You mentioned something about going on X and asking for help. They're a bunch of scammers themselves. Right? They're scammers themselves. They probably want a payment up front. They're going to say, "We want payment up front." So you're going to pay them. They're going to go and say they're going to do it, but they're not going to do it. So don't. It's not worth it at all. So just avoid these kind of things. Listen, if something's too good to be true, avoid it. And when you do go to interact or invest into certain things, look at the contract, verify the contract, see who the person is, who you're dealing with, what you're dealing with, how the contract works. Like, for example, I'll give you a good example. Sometimes, and it happens to the best of us, by the way, we might go onto a brand new project, looks legit, there's a million people trying to get this project, and you jump on and you do certain things, and it's all fine for the first 6 months, a year, and then someone comes along and swipes it or drains it. You don't know. Do you know what I mean? You don't know. So something good can turn into something bad. However, this is the funny thing, right? On the this is hilarious, right? Technically, exchange wallets are safest as it gets when it comes to these kind of things. So think about it. The risk is a lot more when you're interacting in the wild west. Let's just say it that way, right? But in the exchanges, it's not the wild west, because they have certain levels of protection there. It's actually impossible for someone to drain your entire Binance exchange wallet, for example. They can't do that. They can't pre-approve a contract there. So technically that's more safer. So if you want to do hot stuff, you might as well do it from your exchange account. But again, the same rules apply. Don't mix your hot with your cold. Anything you're holding, you're saving, don't mix it. Don't put it in the same wallet. It might cost you a few more extra pennies in fees. It's worth it to have a different wallet to do that kind of stuff. Right? I have a Phantom wallet, as I said, but I've got a few addresses there. Even the few addresses that are there, I don't interact with all the addresses from my Binance, for example, or my Coinbase. So I have a different Phantom wallet for Coinbase, a different one for Binance, a different one for KuCoin, for example. The reason I do this is so if someone decides to go and track me, they can only go back to one place where the funds came from. So if they track me and they say, oh, where did this guy get this Solana from? Coinbase. Okay, fine. But they won't find that I also have a Binance or I also have a KuCoin, if that makes sense, right? They have to know my other wallet address in order to do that. So I don't mix wallets, right? I hope that kind of makes sense. And I know you wanted me to throw that in there. So Maxim, I hope you watched it and you understood this, right? Now, I want to talk about Node Central. So a lot of progress have been made. One of the most important progress that I've had was getting the paper together. Believe me, I mean, sitting down, writing a paper, taking inspirations from many other papers, and then having many of your own papers that you're looking back and seeing the issues and problems and sorting all of those out. And then looking at what the vision is for this entire thing and what the mission is, right? So there's two different things, right? There's a vision, what we want to achieve and what we think we might be able to achieve. And there's a mission. The mission is what we have to do, right? So I looked at it, and obviously originally the idea, the Node Central X project, right? The idea came about, and I said, right, I'm going to launch a token. I did launch a token. We had an issue. So similar, the token itself, that got drained. So that's gone. Nobody got harmed. I said bigger, better, stronger, and I'm not even joking. It's now bigger, better, and stronger. I do have the contract here somewhere. I can probably show it to you. It's bigger, better, and stronger. It's a massive contract. But so that's ready to go. But in between that, I've also thought about integrating some AI features to it as well, just to kind of spice up things a little bit, because not only does it spice it up, it actually makes it more simple. So before, when we did the Node Central token, you, the user, or people who bought the tokens, you would buy the tokens, you would trade the tokens, and best of luck, right? That's what it was. Instead, with an AI, with a bot, having that connected there now, it entitles you to just sit back, hold the coins, just sit back, relax, and let the bot do everything for you. So the bot is going to be doing all the trading and all this stuff for us now, which makes the project a lot more fantastic and fascinating. So that's kind of another reason why I'm really excited. And that's also another reason why I'm freaking sick. I'm actually ill. Really overworked, because I have been thinking a lot, really stressed out, getting something like this. And of course, when you're doing something so big, right, especially in the crypto world, right, when you're doing something, it could be nothing. You might have 10,000 people, right, who come and interact with you and a part of the community, or it could explode to 1 million people. That in itself, the thought of something that could happen from 10,000 to 1 million people, that just freaks me out, if that makes sense, right? You know, you talk like, look, put it this way, I'm a hermit, right? So I usually just like to stay on my own, you know, do things on my own. I like my little bubbles, right? And, you know, it kind of gives me protection. And now here I'm about to do something that actually I know has the potential to go viral, right? Because of what it does, because of how it does it. And then the future plans, remember what I said, the vision, right? The future plans, right? What we're going to do with it. I've been talking to a few people, and the community is growing as well. Not that community, not the community. I'm talking about the community of people who are part of the dev project, right? The development project, right? So there's a whole bunch of people involved in there: bankers, hedge fund managers, you know, finance managers, property developers, you name it, everybody. So many different types of people. I can't have a list. If I was to put a list down, there's more than 100 people involved now. This project has, without even launching anything, without even launching the contract, right? Even the website's under construction. But from the ideas and from the connections that I've made in the past and even now, and the conversations I've had, and the things that people have seen, okay, this guy's tried to do something. He's trying to do something humble. It got robbed, no problem. Comes back again, does it again. And then he's doing it stronger, but not only does he do it stronger, he's doing it better. He's evolving as time moves on. He's evolving this project. Where it was a complete impulse project when he launched it, and he was doing everything backwards, and it went all wrong. But somehow the universe decided to turn everything back to normal, and now everything's moving forward compared to backwards, right? So now we're back to kind of like where the other project should have ended. This project has started. So we were in the build phase. We're constantly building, moving forward. Now communities being built, websites being built, The technology is evolving, and evolved already anyway. The only thing remaining to do, and this is the best part, technology is done already. Website's technically done. It's a matter of me just making it live. There's only one thing to do, believe it or not. Take the smart contract address for the token and stick it into the actual software. That's it. We're done, guys. We're done. So as soon as that moves forward, there's no stopping it. So yeah, I mean, listen, guys. If you do have, right, hold on. Let me see where do we are. Where are we? Let's have a look. So there we are, live chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're on the live chat. So yeah, let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. But as I said, so it's an evolution happening right now. And yeah, so the project is just, in my mind, it was big. But now in reality, it's about to get even bigger. And so I had to kind of adapt the white paper to do that. So the white paper is adapted. Originally also on the white paper and the tokenomics was really good, solid. It had founder tokens, team tokens, this tokens, that tokens, right? It had all of those kind of things. But with the so in the original, the beginning, right, when I was going to launch it, I needed to have like a development fund, a foundation, this, that, you name it, so many different things, right? So there was about 10 or 15 different types of distribution, right? The token distribution was going to be distributed to so many different people. I do have a copy of it. Somebody wants to see it, I can happily show it to you. But now, the best part is, because of all these hundreds of people who are involved in the project right now, we don't need any of that. So now the token itself, I've kind of put it on the paper as well, which is going to be released with the website, by the way. I don't want to release it before, because if I release it before, I know what's going to happen. Someone's going to come and steal it. I talked about NCX. I've kind of been recently hashtagging NCX. Believe this or not, go to CoinMarketCap and type NCX. There's plenty of NCX out. That ticker didn't exist. I see NCX. My token's name was No, right? So again, I hashtag No. We talked about No. Guess what? Go to CoinMarketCap, type in No. You'll see No token pop up. It's not me. People are nicking tickers, for God's sake. Come on. How much more petty can you be? You know, you're nicking tickers. So when I put NCX, you took NCX. When I put No, you took No. So now what I'm doing is I'm actually keeping those a kind of a secret. I'm not mentioning what they are yet, because the moment you mention it, someone's going to nick it. Do you know what I mean? So that's why we're going to launch it with the website and the contract live. So that way, if someone does come in and try and copycat us, right? Because that's what happens. A lot of people, they kind of try and fish you. When they see a project and a potential, they just go and release a duplicate version of it, or duplicate ticker, completely fake, so they can try and take your funds. So yeah, that's why we're gonna release the official website, official everything, so that way things don't get messed up. And I'm keeping things under the cover right now. I don't want to let it go. You know what I mean? Who's that? I see SM here. Also, my brother, nice to see you here as well. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of secrecy until the launch, obviously, and then on the launch date, we're going to launch it and see where it goes. So on the launch, we're doing 40%. On the pre-sale, we're actually doing a 40% pre-sale, right? That's kind of big for any project. I don't think anyone's ever done that. We're going to do a 40%. However, the price changes. I forgot if it was every day or if it was every 48 hours. But maximum would be 48 hours. But the price does change depending on the demand. So when the demand goes up, the price also moves up. As I said, if the demand is low, then it does change every 48 hours. So there's an algorithm there which will change every 48 hours or every 24 hours, depending on the demand. Does that make sense, right? The starting price, and I'm putting this on a video so guys would know, starting price would be 1 cent per token. And for, how would I say this, for like KYC purposes, like our KYC, not yours, right? Our KYC purposes and kind of investor protection and whatnot, and all sorts of other nonsense that comes with it, right? We're actually using Coinbase Commerce to do the pre-sale on. So that way you know that it's going to a verified person and that funds are tracked as well. So that's a good thing that's happening there. Plus we're doing it for other safety reasons as well. The safety reason for us is if we do it on a contract, the last thing we want is like before where the contract got wiped. We don't want that. So we'd rather be involved with Coinbase from day one, and it does give us a little bit more bonus, and Coinbase gets to see us as well, which is a good thing as well. So that's why we chose Coinbase to do that. So yeah, 40% for the pre-sale, 30% for, what was 30% for? 30% for the exchange listings, right? Whether it's decentralized exchange, centralized exchange, whatever, 30% for that. We have, I think 20% goes into like the community stuff. I thought there's a whole bunch of community stuff we're going to be doing. There's 20% there, and then 10% goes to the marketing, guys. Simple as that, right? The reason we can do this is because the bot has one specific job: buy, hold, or burn, right? So the bot's job is to buy, hold, and burn. So when the bot sees a dip or an opportunity where people are dumping the token onto the market, the bot will go and buy. So that's what the bot does, right? The bot's got one single job: just buy, right? So when the bot buys, obviously the supply is then taken off the market, and then the options are, it will either lock it so that when new members or new people or whatever, new buyers or investors come in, then it releases it at a vesting schedule. So there's going to be a vesting schedule which we're going to set up, and we're going to announce it publicly. So you would know when the token locks are happening, when the unlocks are happening. So you will know when the next batch of tokens are going to be available. Once we do the entire total market cap, like we do the entire sale, the total supply is released to the market, and then the buyback starts to happen, then it's very unique. No one's ever done it before. We're going to be the first to do it. We're going to release them, like the token release is going to be small percentage every so and so, like maybe a month, 2 months, but we're going to announce the dates later on because it's not really important right now. But you can see it's going to be a total fair launch technically, where we're actually releasing all of it, and then we're bringing it back home, and then we're going to distribute it again. And then what the market does. Now, people who would read the white paper, you'll see more details. The key is you just buy and hold, and then you see what happens there. That's the key here. I'm not going to disclose too much because obviously it's just a video. It's inappropriate for me to talk about it. But yeah, I know a lot of people didn't come here for that. I don't want to talk about no central. Right, but if you are here for something else, unless you tell me, I don't know. Unless you're here, if you're here for something else, unless you tell me, how am I supposed to know? Right? Unless you think I can actually read minds, in God knows where you are, read your mind as well as I can read the charts and tell you what prices it might be. I don't know what you think I am. Honestly, you think I'm a wizard? What the hell is wrong with you? Anyway, we're currently at $54,352. Not bad, huh? Not bad. Just breaking through the 53, going actually literally shooting towards the 58 right now. Not bad. So 58 is going to be where we're going to see a little bit of resistance. I can tell you just by looking at this. I don't need a chart for that, right? So this is just how the maths work. Ethereum at 3,172. Brilliant. I don't know what people want. Honestly, I don't know what people want. Let me just look at these coins. It's just beautiful when you look at them. Just look at them. By the way, this chart you're seeing here, these are actually all the coins I'm actually holding currently, including this just got recently added as well. So these are actually all the coins that I've been messing around with a little bit, except the total market caps. There's a few of those there, but the coins are what I've been messing around with recently. And once I offload them, I'm going to get rid of them from here. So this chart is not going to be the same. The chart is going to be the same, but the list is not going to be the same. Okay, if that makes sense. The list is not going to be the same. Again, guys, I'm going to give you 5 more minutes. If you do have anything you want me to talk about, then yeah, very well. If not, I've had my piece. I've talked about what I needed to talk about. Well, no, I didn't even need to talk about it. I don't even have to. I don't even know why I have to talk about it. Honestly, absolutely don't know why I have to talk about it. Who's messaging me right now? Okay, nobody's messaging me, but that's fine. So, listen, I'm not going to be Richard Hart, sit here for 4 hours and talk about what the market is doing or anything like that. I'm not going to do that. Actually, he doesn't talk about market. He talks about Hexcoin and Pulsecoin and this is Bitcoin and this and that. Look, whether I'm not here to, as I said, I'm not here to diss anybody. Our project is very unique. Unique in the sense that it's been a while in the making. That meant that we've had enough time. Let me just get the other scene up. We've had enough time to, well, I've personally have had enough time to modify this to a level where I'm comfortable, right? Even if I launch something on impulse, right, like I did the other day, I still have enough background research that I've did before to launch something quite unique, if that makes sense, right? And I've seen it all. There's a lot of people, like someone recently come up to me and said, like, oh, the apes, the monkey NFTs, that's the old school thing. I was like, yeah, they may be old, but it depends what you do with it. That's the new thing. Do you understand what I mean? So, and I'm not telling anyone to go and buy something. SM asked me, does he see XRP on that list? I'm going to get the list back for you, brother. And I would like you to just have a quick look yourself and see if there's any XRP there. That will make total sense to you that if I actually hold any XRP, right? Sorry, I don't have my glasses with me. I'm going slow so you can actually see if there's any XRP there, right? And that will make total sense to you. This is my actual list of all the coins that I'm holding, and you will actually see there shouldn't be any XRP. There may be another list with XRP on it, which I've done for other people, but this is my list of the coins that I've recently bought during the dip, during the bloody times. Whenever I've seen an opportunity, I went and picked up some. I'm not going to give you the total number, but just say $100, maybe even $10 worth. But I knew that when the market recovers, everything will recover, and that's when I'm going to make 10% here, 5% here, 4% there, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's all about that small little cash profits that I could do. Target for say. So the target for say was $1.04, funnily, right? So let me get that for you. Give me a second. Sorry guys, I'm just not well. Got a bad throat, bit of a cold. All right, so we've got say, right? Let's just get say here. And actually this chart I'm looking at right now, guys, this is not the right say chart, right? So let me get the right say chart. This is the right say chart you want, okay? There's a reason. You can see here. This is where say launched. This is the main chart for say, right? Again, when we look at certain things, we've got to always look at the historical areas. So say originally launched at $1. From that dollar, when I did a bit of Fibonacci around here, it did give me a target of 104 cents. And it went to 103 something, right? It didn't go to 104. So that was quite good. It did go to 103, whatever. So that was it. Now, if I was to put a target, then, I'm just going to be, to be honest, right? This is going to be hypothetical. This is not 100%, right? You can see where my other Fibonacci, the previous one I did, that also activated. Anyway, get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. But this is all going to be hypothetical because we are currently in a price discovery. So here it's showing $1.54 based on a Fibonacci. To be honest, it could go to $10. We don't know anymore because once we break this area here, this threshold here, and I'm not sure if you're seeing, give me a second, let me just get the other thing on. Right, sorry, I have to do this. So once you get to this particular area, so this is the level we cross through, then the sky's your limit. Honestly, the sky's your limit because now it's on price discovery mode. The same thing applies to when I talked about BTC. So, when we talk about BTC, same rule applies. A lot of people don't get this, right? Let me kill the drawings. Right, the same rule applies. When you get to the previous all-time high, which is here, when you get to that previous all-time high, right, no level of indicator works. You can only use an indicator to predict what the next price would be or the probability would be, based on what the indicator is throwing at you. But there's actually nothing to base the maths on. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I could turn around and find some random weird areas and do whatever and say, well, that's where it's going to be, right? So, say for example, just take this area here, put a Fibonacci on it, there, that bottom of that market, and you can see it actually throws around $80,000. But we've had $84,000 previous season. So just because we've had $84,000 doesn't mean it will happen and doesn't mean it won't happen. Does that make sense, right? Because the ultimate fact is that at this after this area, this is a price discovery area. It means we could go anywhere, we could shoot off to the moon. So when we do, we do. You know what I mean? Let's see what the brother says. Get some rest, bro, and hope you feel better soon. I will be better. Listen, to be honest with you, I will be really, really better when I've completely launched everything that I've planned. So it's been really, really hard, believe me. In the beginning, whatever the case was, and I'm being totally honest with everybody and transparent with everybody, in the beginning it was me. Just me on my own. I did ask everybody. I asked the community members, everybody. I shouted and screamed. I said, guys, whoever wants to come along, come. Maybe people thought there was financial commitment or whatever. They didn't want to come. They didn't understand that I've literally put everything on the line, right? I'm willing to go completely all out. People didn't understand me. I had developer friends and all sorts of other friends. And I said, right, guys, come on. I need your help. Give me some advice. Give me this, give me that. I'll make it worth your while, whatever, right? So I'm actually giving partnerships away to people for free. I'm like, you don't have to commit anything apart from give me a bit of advice or commit some of your time, right? Or maybe just do an audit on a thing. All of those things I did. I asked people, honestly, I went out there and kept on asking people. And at that time, nobody, I'm being honest with you, nobody came forward. Nobody. Everybody was like, yeah, well, they come up and they hype a little bit, right? To the point where I got angry. I actually got very angry. And let me explain this to you, right? This will make sense to you. So I got quite angry and I said, right, okay, do you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to even bother. I've given everybody the opportunity to govern this entire project. And I didn't even want anything off you. But I understand people are probably thinking there's a hidden agenda or something. Fine. You know what? People are always suspicious, and good thing. I like that. Good. Question everything, right? I teach you how to question everything. Why wouldn't you question me? And I appreciate that. Thank you very much for doing that. But I got to the point where it's like, I can't do this, because if I keep on waiting for people to come back to me, then it's another day added on. And I can't delay this anymore. I don't have the energy to do this anymore. So it got to the point where I said, you know what, I'm just going to do what I need to do. And I think I mentioned it a few times on Discord and whatnot. I said, I just got to go out and do what I need to do. So I started work. I looked at all these old contracts and whatnot I had, and I started work on it. And I said, right, one by one, I'm going to start doing my certain things. When the same people that I originally asked, when they realize what I'm up to, when they realize that, hold on, this guy's not asking for any money up front, anything, he's giving it away. He's literally giving it away. Right? And then when some of the people saw, so a lot of the guys, the community members may have not seen everything, but the people I was working with, or I wanted to work with, the team members that I originally wanted, they know what the marketing budget is. They know what these kind of crazy budgets that I have in there. So they know exactly how much money we're really going to burn. I'll give you a good indication. One of a good friend of ours, old friend, is in the Discord server. Last year, I think it was, last year or year before. Yeah, last year. He said to me, he was talking about Paradox, and he said, if you want to make Paradoxes successful, you need to spend, he said, if you want to make Paradoxes worth $1 million, you need to invest $1 million. That's all he said to me, and it's the truth. It is true. You need to invest $1 million. Well, I didn't forget that. It's the same principles we're spending on this one. I mean, same kind of thing I'm doing on this one, right? So it's not about me making $1 million. I'm thinking about $1 billion. Does that make sense? I'm thinking about $1 billion. Why would I think about $1 million? If I need to put $1 million to make $1 million, well, what can I make into $1 billion? That's the kind of a vision I have. It's not a small today, tomorrow, oh, let's make a bit of quick cash and get out. This is not a rug pull. This is not one of those scam projects that people go on. The main key fact here is I've put my face on it. I've put my face on it. I've put my name on it. Many of you guys that have followed me for the last 3-4 years and know me personally and even over the phone through YouTube and whatnot, and you've had a conversation with me, you know how passionate I am about this. If my intentions was to get in, get out, make quick cash or whatever, I would have done that time back. That's the easy thing. I always said to you, that's the easy part. Getting a good team together is hard. Launching a legit project is hard. Getting people to trust you is hard. But scamming people, rugging people, creating shitty scammy projects, right? They're easy, guys. They're easy. You can launch one tomorrow. It's go on Solana ecosystem. There's a rug pull every 2 minutes, every 2 seconds sometimes. There's a rug pull there. Why? Because people have got so used to doing these easy token creations, no code token creations. They're getting out there, just creating as many tokens as possible, and they're just sitting there like with the fishing rod, trying to fish as many Solana as possible. That's what they're doing. They did that on Binance, and it's the same people. They did it on Binance, they did it on Matic, they did it on every other blockchain, you name it, and now they're doing it on Solana because that's where the narrative is, right? So, and it's not the narrative, it's where the fish go, right? It's where the fish goes, it's where the little fish go. So the fish look for food, that's where they go, and they get fished. So that's what's happening, right? It's a sad reality, but that's the reality. But yeah, I would rest. I mean, this is big for me. This is important for me. As you can, probably if you heard the video, if you saw the video earlier on, I did mention that originally the project required a lot of stuff. But where I've got it now and the amount of interest I've got from the tens of hundreds of people that I've got interest from and the backing I'm getting to do this. Originally, here's the fun part as well, right? You're going to love this one. And I know you can love me or hate me for it, right? The project is no central, but I've had more interest from centralized parties on this. How freaking crazy is that? I want to create something that is no centralized. I've made rules. Right, I said I will not cross those lines, and I want to keep it as decentralized as possible, right? And most of the people that are now backing me up are from the centralized, institutions and ventures and whatnot. How freaking crazy is that? Right? Imagine this. If I said I wanted to go and do something centralized, I'm sure they wouldn't come. But this is hilarious. I'm doing something no central, decentralized. I don't even control it. You guys control it. And now they are interested. So that's what I see anyway. That's why I'm kind of under pressure as well, because it's not just about launching this project. Doesn't matter. I can launch it 6 months down the line if it was only me. But I've had this situation before where with Paradexes, I had investors, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of investors just waiting for me to launch the token. And they asked me, when, Sham? When? And I couldn't keep my promise. I couldn't release it because I had too many issues with the project, the founders, and even the developers and everything. I couldn't launch it. Hence why the project got abandoned, and I lost all the investors. And those same investors never came back. They never came back. I mean, they are there. They're friends. They want to come back and invest in all sorts of other stuff. If I do, they're happy. They're like, Sham, you name it, we're coming in. But your crypto ventures, you're just taking too long. We haven't got time for it. And they're right. So this time, I ain't taking too long. This time I'm launching it and then letting it free, let it roll and see what happens from there. So other than that, guys, my throat is hurting. I'm going to love you and leave you. I was hoping to get a little bit more questions off you guys, so maybe I could answer some other stuff apart from XRP, right? Apart from XRP. But saying that, look, SM brother, honestly, XRP, you know what, you mentioned it. I'm not gonna leave you without it. Okay, I am gonna give you XRP as well. Let's go on Binance. I am gonna give you some XRP as well, and it will make total sense to you where XRP is right now. Right? In fact, I probably have to change what I do with XRP right now. So because okay, so all I can say to you is, just looking at this is me just giving you, forget technicals, forget everything, right? I'm just telling you what XRP looks like, right? If XRP, and this is how my statement's going to start, right? So where you can see this was the previous all-time high. Just keep that in mind. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if the price was $10, by the way. We're not looking at what the actual price was. We're just looking at what this area shows us. So just based on that area, if we put a Fibonacci tool and we say, right, okay, let's just calculate this. Currently, it is saying us that if we do recover this area, potentially we can go and test this $2.24. I would say don't even bother looking at any of those. Just look at this area here. Okay, this $1.50. Just look at that, and I'll explain to you why I said that. Because what you see is this area here, there's a lot of traffic here, right? And your range ideally should be around bottom of this to the top of this. So you should start scaling out from around here. And then obviously try and take your initial out at least here. And if you did do that, right, I'm going to change things around a little bit so it just kind of makes sense to you, right? If you did do that, what you'll find is your where's the measuring going? So you would be, just say for example, from here, right, from here to just say for up to let's just say up to here, for example. Yeah, I would say up to here, right? You'll be doing around 100%, or probably more. But yeah, it's a hard one, guys. It's a hard one. Listen, XRP is just not there anymore. It doesn't matter what you do with XRP. It's just not there anymore. Do you know what I mean? That's the only one I can see that where it's showing me a pattern which says, yes, XRP has a great chance to do a few more pumps, but the pumps could stop here. However, if we do break through this area, then it has a greater chance of doing a higher number. But just look at this. This is not a pattern indicating to me that XRP wants to move, right? When I shift that same pattern over to another coin, for example, let's just say BTC, look, that's a pattern that wants to move, right? That's a pattern that wants to move, not wants to move, sorry, my bad. That's a pattern that's already moved, coming to an end, right? Coming to an end. That's what you got to understand. These are, look, patterns that are coming to an end means that they're still moving, obviously. They're going to come to an end very soon, right? Or anything. This is even Say is doing it as well, right? So when we know, like, I mean, okay, here's a good one, eGold. Right, eGold is very similar to what we saw for XRP. Come down, bloody, and it's come back here. It's going to attempt to come, but the problem is going to be by the time it comes here, if it doesn't, and I'm saying if it doesn't come here in time, and people's opinions differ, right? So anybody could say whatever they want. I don't really care, right? But ultimately, if we don't come back and test this particular zone here, by that time, BTC could be now topping out and coming down again. You see what I mean? You've got to understand those kind of things. That if BTC tops out, by the time this actually does a recovery, you're screwed. Do you know what I mean? You're absolutely screwed. So we need to look at these and we need to identify these patterns and say, right, hold on. Is it worth us holding on to them? My opinion is no. If you think there's a coin that hasn't performed well, actually, here's a good one. KR's on the chat. I know KR's there. The other day, KR asked me, he had some Cardano, and he said, look, my Cardano's just broken even. Whatever I had just broke even. If I dump Cardano, what would I pick? And he gave me two choices, right? And I just said immediately, I said Matic. It's a no-brainer. Why? Right? And I'll show you Matic. Right? It make total sense to you. Matic, total no-brainer. This is Matic. Right, total no-brainer. Matic is so close to this area here. All it has to do is pump through this. As soon as it pumps through this, it's going to go and test his all-time high. So you look at that and you say, right, that's how this whole thing works. That's how this structure works. If you can see that and identify that, you know you're going to be doing something well. I think SM just wrote something. I've given up on XRP. I appreciate for looking it through. Thank you, my brother. But no, it's not about giving up or anything. But just saying, like, coins, there are going to be great coins and there are going to be not so great coins. There are legacy coins, and this is a legacy coin as well. Yes, it was great at some stage. But as the wind changes, as the weather changes, as the narratives change, so must you, right? No point holding on to some of these old ones or anything like this. Especially, I've always said it, I'm not a big fan of XRP. So even funny thing is this coin here, World Coin, current valuation, the current price with the number of coins in circulations is overvalued, in my opinion. And I know it's being manipulated, which is fine, but they can only do that because of the number of coins they have. If they release more coins, if they release 50% of those coins, and then they have this kind of valuation, its total market cap would be bigger than BTC, right? Bigger than BTC. It just doesn't make any sense. Most people are just dumping it. So where's that price coming from? Do you know what I mean? But you got to wonder, or actually think about it, the people involved with it, who are they? They're all the top big boys, right? So this is one of those world dominance coin, right? Probably the government's investing in it. So that's a narrative, but pick on the narrative, stick with the narrative, right? Because that's where the money's going to be. But when you get in, if you get it for free, good luck to you. That's what I've done with WorldCoin. And then the ones I bought, I've dumped them anyway. But what I'm saying is if there is a coin, if there's a narrative there, and you pick up this narrative, stick with it for a certain amount of time, take your initial out. And especially when we get to levels in the market, right? Especially like, I'll show you this one, right? So especially like now where we come to BTC. Right, let me zoom in with you. Right, let's just zoom in a little bit, right? So especially now with BTC, where we are, this particular zone here, from this point here to here, it's not that far, right? And this is the time when your stop losses, your trailing stops need to come into effect, because on the way down, you save your money. If you want to get back in, buy the dip, whatever, you've got enough cash to buy the dips. On the way up, if you have a trailing stop, it doesn't bother you. It just carries on. If you think it's gone above a certain level that you're comfortable with, take the trailing stop off, let it carry on a little bit more. But when things heat up, the first thing you should be doing, don't panic, go onto your exchange, set up your stop loss, move it up and say, right, okay, BTC is sitting at 70 grand today, or maybe 80 grand today. Well, I'm willing to sell it for 75 grand if the market goes the other way down. Does that make sense? Go up there and put those trading stops or stop losses on so you can protect the profits you've made. That's what I'm saying, nothing else, guys. It's not that hard, is it? But yeah, other than that, I've got a cat sleeping here. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to catch you guys on another one very soon. Okay, adios, my amigos. Thank you for coming to the show. Sorry, I'm not well. If I was well, I would definitely carry on forever. And if I had a few more people asking me questions, I would have definitely carried on forever. But other than that, as I said, guys, thank you very much for coming to the show. Like, share, subscribe, and let me catch you on another one very soon. Okay, thank you.